Well, hello race fans and welcome to the channel and to the Ultimate Racing League. We are in, where are we? We are at our Saturday Championship. I've got that much bits of paper in front of me, I don't know whether I'm coming or going. Yes, this is our Saturday Championship in the Group 3s or the GR3 cars. And familiar sight ahead of us is Sao Paulo, Brazil. It's the Interlagos. Now, bit of an argument about what the track is called for the purists. It's the Autodromo Jose Carlos Pace, but most of us know it and love it as Interlagos, and it's a lot easier to say Interlagos than Autodromo Jose Carlos Pace. So Interlagos it is. Now we've got that one cleared up. A little bit about the race. We've got 3 50-minute races for you, and well, I think it's 50-minute races. I believe it is. So we've got 3 50-minute races, and it's just out and out sprint. Now, the only rules tyre-wise is mediums have to be used, softer mediums must be used in at least one of the races. And that's pretty much it. It's get round as quick as you can. Now, we do have a full grid, which is fantastic for this first race. So we'll just get straight into it, shall we? And have a look and see where everybody is. So, as you can see, we've got Agent Smith on pole position. Stormfly is in second. Osman is in third. Few liveries missing as well. Fitzy in fourth. Grasshopper is fifth. Unforgiven is sixth. Seventh is Brian Moncani. Derg is eighth. Brian the Mechanic ninth. Pete is 10th. Rufus is 11th. And thank you to Rufus for sharing these. Phaser is 12th. Hodgie 13th. Silly Shot 14th. Stealth is 15th, and Sid the Sloth is 16th. So yeah, a lot of liveries missing. I suppose I should have come out of it and gone back in again, but we're here now. Once you get in that loop, you've got to keep going, haven't you? So we shall crack on with this first race. If I find out which button I'm pressing, there we go. So as I say, we've a 15-minute race. First of 3, lovely blue clear skies, so no rain or anything scheduled, I don't think. It's going to be nice and warm out there. You can see the crowd are all in the t-shirts, they're loving it. Packed crowd. So some good racing ahead of us as we go into the Senna S's for the first time. Not too many corner names on this track, well, not on the track map I've got anyway, and I'll try and pronounce a couple of the ones we have got. So this is the first of the straights, the Retro Aposta, and then we go into turns 4 and 5, treated as one big left-hander, the Decida de Logo, and then we go up and into the tricky section of the track, the S section of the track, and you've got 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and 11, so a good 6 turns in this section as Stormfly tries to put the pressure on Smith in this opening lap, and we'll just go down the order. Fitzy in 4th, Grasshopper, Unforgiven, Brian Moncani. It's almost like I'm reading out the League of Champions, isn't it? Pete down there in 10. Then we've got, what was that? Derg now. Is that a change of car for Derg? Looks, is that the RX whatever it is, vision thing? Yeah, it sounds like it. Great car, just a horrible noise. Pete in 10th. Then we've got Phaser, Rufus, Hodgie. I think Hodgie's joined as a guest to for these races. I'm not sure he usually races on a Wednesday. It's open to most of the guys actually this Wednesday race. It is a championship, and obviously we've got the regular guys, but if there are any spaces to fill, then yes you can. Oh, Stormfly, what's happened to Stormfly? Let's just go back and have a look. He was hot on the heels, wasn't he, of Mr. Smith. Down to turn 1, we go across the start finish line, up into the braking zone. Oh, was he just a little bit late on the brakes? No, he got on the brakes okay, didn't he? He's really putting the pressure on Smith. Oh, and he just got it on the exit of turn 2, 3. Oh, and that's put him all the way down now. Well, 12th, 13th. How far away is Stealth and Silly Shot? Well, he's not going to lose a place to those, but from 2nd to 13th, so I'm sure there's a few choice words coming over the radio waves in that team. So the Flying Dutchman is he's grounded for a while, and he's just going to have to play catch up. The Stealth in 14th with Silly Shot 15th, and Sid down in 16th. So back up to the top then. Smith, after that spill from Stormfly, Smith got, well, I'm going to say a bit of breathing space. He hasn't really, because he's got Osman in the Genesis chasing him down, and we know Osman is very quick in that car. The two of them really just seem to have gelled this season. So the Wizard with the wheel chasing Agent Smith down now, and he's going to be putting him under all sorts of pressure. Let's just have a look at the tyres, shall we? Smith is on the softs, Osman also on the softs, so is Fitzy. In fact, it looks like most people are going to be on the softs. Grasshopper in 4th, Unforgiven in 5th in the familiar well, I was going to say familiar BMW, but it's not, is it? It's the GTR. So maybe Unforgiven's found a new favourite car, and the BMW is surplus to requirements now, as he makes a bit of a move on Grasshopper into the Senna S. Is a fantastic move from Unforgiven. Didn't quite pull it off, but a brave attempt. Grasshopper had to do everything he could to defend that. Fantastic racing between Unforgiven and Grasshopper, but Unforgiven's not giving up. He's staying with Grasshopper, and he's continue putting the pressure on. Really struggling with my words this morning. Brian the mechanic sitting there in 6th, he's watching all this unfold in front of him, hoping that those two are going to have a bit of a coming together, as is very likely actually, especially as we get to the tighter section of the track. Derg in that, I'm sure it's the RX-7 Vision GT thing. As I say, great car, horrible noise. Let's see if we can go on board and listen to it. Some like it, I just think it's a very whiny noise. I couldn't do 15 minutes of it. Yeah, it just doesn't sound right to me, but there you go, Derg going with it. And we've got Pete down in 8th, Phaser in 9th, he's coming under attack from Rufus. Rufus having a good season in this Saturday League. Got a win last week, if I remember rightly. So yeah, Rufus, he's having a good run. It's Rufus as Phaser moves up into 9th. Stormfly in 11th. We've just seen him have that issue, didn't we? At coming out of the Senna S's, and we're just following through just to see whether he has the same problem in that McLaren. I thought the McLaren would have been quite well planted actually through here. It's a good car, the McLaren, unless they've messed about with it like they have the Porsche. But the McLaren always used to be a safe go-to car. I've not driven it for a while, so I don't know if it's been tweaked like the Porsche. The Porsche now, bloody awful car. Well, I think so anyway. Stealth in 12th. He's coming under attack from Brian Moncarney, talking to Porsche. Both of them in the Porsche, and you can see they both got a little bit twitchy coming out of turn 4. Hodgie in 14th in the BMW, with Silly Shot also in the BMW. I think one's in the sprint, one's in the endurance. Yeah, Hodgie in the endurance, and Silly Shot looks like he's in the sprint. I've been told there is a few subtle differences. I always thought it was just the fog lights, but are not. Apparently one is slightly longer and has got a little better PP, I believe. And then we've got Sid in the Super down in 16th. So back up to the top. Oh, we've missed it. Let's just go back a long way. Wow. Sorry we missed that, but there's Osman. He's we said it, didn't we? He's putting the pressure on Mr. Smith, and as they come onto the Retroposta straight, it looks like that's where Osman makes his move. He gets himself on the inside of Smith, coming up to turn 4, and yeah, it makes it look very easy, doesn't he? All the way around and up into P1. So we'll just shoot forward again and pick up where we left off before. So Osman now the new leader of this race, then, with Smith chasing him down in 2nd. Not, I was going to say a bit of a gap, but it's not really, to Fitzy. Fitzy's still there and just following these two guys around. Bit of a gap then back to Unforgiven. He's managed to get in front of Grasshopper. Apologies we missed that. But Unforgiven has been having quite a battle with Grasshopper and has got himself in front. So Grasshopper relegated to 5th and coming under attack from Brian the Mechanic. Derg just sitting there in 7th as well. So this is a good 4-way battle going on here, led by Unforgiven. Let's just jump on board with Grasshopper as we follow Unforgiven around these final few turns. Through turn 12, junk out. Difficult one, that one is. Very easy to go off there or spin the car on the exit, but these guys got through okay. Brian the Mechanic there getting closer and closer to Grasshopper, trying to get in the slipstream as we go through the final through turns 14 and 15, then onto the start finish straight across the line to now start lap 6 into the braking zone of turn 1 and the start of the centre S's. This left, then right, then left. All 4 cars still going. Brian the Mechanic desperately trying to get into the slipstream of Grasshopper. Now onto the Retro Aposta straight. Now this is where now Brian the Mechanic, he's getting closer and closer. Is he going to have a look? Oh, he did, didn't he? He tried to get himself in the mirrors of Grasshopper, but not quite close enough. And he's having to slot in behind Grasshopper again. This track is very easy to defend on, and obviously the opposite of that is it's bloody hard to overtake. So all you've got to do is really get your car in the middle of the track, and it's not that wide, and with all these twists and turns, overtaking is very, very difficult. You've really only got the start finish straight and the straight between turns 3 and 4, the Aposta straight. You may get it done if somebody makes a mistake, but yeah, overtaking is a difficult one. But these 4 just following each other through. Then we got down to Stormfly. Now Stormfly's made his way up into 8th, having had that little spill earlier on. Found himself all the way down in 11th or 12th, I think it was. He's now made his way up into 8th, so he's on a bit of a mission, isn't he? I'm just looking at the fastest lap at the minute. It's Mr. Smith on a 1:30.8 and Stormfly's doing a 31.8, so well, he's almost a second, isn't he, behind. So we're just going to shoot back up to the top Joey and see how Osman is getting on. Still got Smith for company. Smith just sitting there. I think he's in the slipstream. I think you've got to be within 8/10 of the car in front to be in the slipstream. And I would say that Smith is, well, he's less than that. He's probably half a second, maybe under half a second. So these two just trying to pull away, but Fitzy's not having any of that. He's hanging in there, isn't he? And sticking with them. So it's the League of Champions boys, as you would expect, out in front. Unforgiven, another League of Champions driver, along with Grasshopper. So top 5, all League of Champions. Then we've got Brian the Mechanic, he's in there from League 1. And he's having a proper battle, trying to keep up with Grasshopper and Unforgiven. And he's also got Derg all over him. Derg are League of Champions as well, so League of Champions really dominating the early stages of this race. Now we are, well, I say the early stages, we're 2/3 of the way through. We're just approaching the 11-minute mark, and Derg really can't get by, can he? Brian the Mechanic, that master just doesn't seem to have the beans to keep up the GTRs in front of him. Oh, as we get a bit of side-by-side action going on with Grasshopper and Brian the Mechanic. Brian the Mechanic fancies his chances against Grasshopper. It looks like he's got it done as we go down around turn 3 onto the Aposta straight, and Brian the Mechanic gets that move done. Fantastic racing from him. So Brian the Mechanic up into 5th, Grasshopper in 5th, well 6th now, as Grasshopper tries to fight back. He is right up the boot lid of Brian the Mechanic as they come out of turn 5, and they are now side by side heading towards turn 6 and into the S's. Now it is very, very important you get your nose in front before getting through these S's. It is going to get tighter. Derg just sitting there waiting for these two to have a bit of a coming together. Fantastic racing, still side by side, but it looks like Grasshopper has got himself through there. Derg trying to follow through as well, not literally, and Brian the Mechanic holding on to 6. I thought Derg was going to follow him through there into up into 5th position, but 6, sorry, but he's not. Brian the Mechanic shut the door on him, so it's as it was. It's Grasshopper in 5th, Brian the Mechanic 6th, Derg 7th. Stormfly's caught up to the back of these boys as well, so Stormfly will be looking to try and get by in that McLaren. This is going to get interesting. We have about 2.5 minutes to go, and Stormfly desperately trying to make up some spaces after his early accident. It looks like he's gone alongside there of Derg up towards the turn 1 and the start of the Senna S's. Grasshopper goes through, Brian the Mechanic goes through, Stormfly has managed to get by Derg just at the entrance to turn 1, and Stormfly is on an absolute mission. He really has become the Flying Dutchman now, and if he's not from Holland, then please let me know and I'll stop calling you the Flying Dutchman. But Stormfly now got Brian the Mechanic fixed firmly in his sights. We have 2 minutes of this first race to go. Derg right up the chuff of Stormfly. Derg really putting in the effort now, maybe a little bit too late, but he's piling the pressure on. I'm sure Stormfly's not even looking in his mirrors. He's more interested in trying to get P6 away from Brian the Mechanic, really throwing that McLaren around into these turns, trying to get on the power nice and early. As I say, the McLaren is usually a pretty safe car. No traction control required either for these guys. These are proper hardcore, not like us wimps who have to have it on 2 or 3. But great racing, great recovery race actually from Stormfly, who is now right up the exhaust pipe of Brian the Mechanic, and he's going to be looking at making a move before they get to the end of turn 1. Sticking with Brian all the way through. Now is Brian going to go defensive and stay on the inside? Yes, he is. Made his intentions very clear, so if Stormfly wants it, he's going to have to go all the way around the outside, and that's exactly what he's trying to do. But Brian the Mechanic slams the door on him, but Stormfly's not given up. Onto the Aposta straight. Derg sitting there watching all of this, waiting for one of them to make a mistake. But great defending from Brian the Mechanic. That was brilliant racing through that section of the track. Let's have a look what's happening elsewhere, shall we? Phaser down in 9th. We've got to come back to these guys. Then Rufus in 10th, Brian Moncani 11th, Pete in 12th, then Stealth, Hodgie down in 14th, Silly Shot, then Sid the Sloth. Back up to the top though, Osman and Smith, they seem to be having their own little fight, as Smith desperately tries to keep on to the back of Osman's car, keep the pressure on. Maybe he's just sitting there waiting for the final lap, which is what we're approaching now, so these two will be finishing first. Yes, I'm just sorry, I was just looking at the time, and it looks like Osman as he comes around the final few turns. It is going to be Osman who is going to take the win, and congratulations to him. Smith in second. That was great racing from those two guys. There we go, Osman and Smith. Fitzy gets third. Unforgiven, he managed to get away from that pack and comes across the line in 4th. Grasshopper holds on to 5th. Stormfly manages to get by Brian to take 6th. Brian the Mechanic 7th. Derg comes across the line in 8th. Phaser 9th. Brian Moncani just ahead of Rufus in 10th and 11th. Pete finishing in 12th. Stealth is going to get 13th. Hodgie, is he going to get 14th? Yes, he is, just ahead of Silly Shot, and then Sid finishing in 16th. What fantastic racing here in Brazil. We've got another 2 coming up for you, so hopefully you can join me for then. I shall catch you all very, very soon.